Heat beat the Wizards.
How come it's not on your screen? There we go. I was worried for a second. Like we're only doing 14-1 today. Merchant, you didn't shut it off? That's what I was getting at.
Ching. There we go. It's like a spaceship thing.
Spaceship noise.
Made you a 3-pointer on Friday. I was 1 for 1.
Huh?
But I keep forgetting to put my hand up like this.
You only do that against the West.
Gotta do a little.
Oh my goodness, Michael Neal. You're gone, you're a pain in the butt.
Any meat?
I got sesame chicken.
He's got Chinese.
We always go get Chinese.
Why? When I go on my
Way
breaks,
good.
yeah, I get a discount for it though.
Double check.
What's your discount?
$1 for 1 meal. You're kidding, it's 5 for like rice and 2 entrees. It's a full employee meal.
2 entrees?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Regular, it's $6.69. Yeah, if you like it, yeah.
Wow, 14-8.
But like
14 is pretty
you
long.
can get on those if you like get
14's lengthy chapter. But good news, we're not doing the challenge problem.
today
In 14. No challenge problem in chapter 14.
what are we doing today?
Okay. Anybody, I can't remember. I remember I did ask once. Anybody in here have stocks? Nobody has stocks. Nobody? Okay. Well, there's a couple ways that stocks pay out money. And the traditional way that everybody's pretty familiar with is you buy a stock, it fluctuates in value. If you buy it for less than it goes up and then you sell it, you make the money in between. That's one way to make money in stock. The other way is if you own stock in a corporation and instead of their value fluctuating, they use dividends. And what that means is they pay out, your stock's not worth anymore, but you get paid for it every year and you get to keep the stock. So this company is using dividends, and it tells us that in 14, work together, it says the board of directors declared a dividend of $3 per share capital stock, and there are 1,750 shares issued. So all I'm going to do with that transaction is anytime you declare a dividend, that means you're going to pay money out. So all I'm going to do is record that I am going to be paying this money out. So it's December 15th. And this is dividends. You're going to debit dividends for, you don't have to write this in there, but this is what it is, $3 times the number of shares, which is 1750. 1750 and 1750 is 3,500 plus 1750 is 5,250, right?
C.
Okay. And now I'm going to credit dividends payable. Payable means what? It means I owe it. Yep. So this is just going to put in the books that I owe this much money. Okay. Then it says on January 15th, we paid cash for the dividend declared. Okay. So I'm going to flip the page. Flip the script. Paid cash for the dividends. So this is 2013. January 15th. The money I owe is in the payable, so it's dividends payable. Check number 687. Dividends payable is going to be debited 5,250. Cash is credited 5,250. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Nothing to it.
Nothing to it. Okay. You know, I think we should probably do 14 too.
That's left there right there?
That's 14-1. That's it.
You should let us do the on your own.
All right, do the on your own real quick.
Paul, what did you do this weekend?
Absolutely nothing.
Didn't go out or anything? Go see a movie? Go bowling?
Nope.
It's a bummer.
I
But again, probably can.
watched some football. Went to church. That's it. That's it. Called a weekend. Mm-hmm.
They'd fly right by.
Yep.
There's some drama with Skylar and some other girls on Twitter this weekend.
Uh-oh.
It was crazy, yeah.
You follow all the freshman girls on Twitter?
No, I saw a retweet and stuff of it, so
See Doug a little deeper. Just say it, Merchant.
I did.
Little cat fight at school.
Skylar, who's Skylar mad at?
Yeah, see that?
Who?
It's something about like,
She's mad at Anna Sagan?
yeah, yeah, it's something about,
Anna's not nice to her.
yeah.
And then Skylar tweets her feelings about it, and then Anna gets mad.
Yeah.
What is it?
So, Skylar's mad at Anna because Anna's not nice to her, and Anna says what?
And Anna gets mad at Skylar for tweeting her feelings on Twitter.
And then, shining bright all the time. There's always stuff that she's doing too.
Maybe you should start dating one of them.
No,
Clear this mess up.
I'm following Shining.
You take care of their problems for them.
Okay. As you can see, 14, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all go together. And that's why the page is left blank intentionally, so you can open up and have everything open at the same time. There it is. Wrong page. Okay, so it gives us our trial balance amounts. And what I'm not going to do, or excuse me, what I'm going to do, is it says a partially completed worksheet for coastal aquatics is given. You need to enter the accounts and account balances on the following lines. So we got to find accounts receivable on line 3, and all you do is write it in. Accounts receivable. It says it has a balance of $15,485.25. Is that debit or credit balance?
Looks like debit.
Looks like debit to me. $15,485.25.
Let's go down to accounts payable.
Accounts payable on line 13. It says it has a balance of $18,482.28. If accounts receivable is debit, accounts payable is probably credit. $482.28. Sales on line 29.
Scribble.
I know you guys listen now. Credit balance $845, $828,
Pocket change.
$09. And then on line 32 is purchases. Is $389, $184, $01. Okay. Now it says total, prove, and rule the trial balance. So what we're going to do, we're going to divide the room. Girls, do the debit side. Boys, credit side.
For both sheets.
Yep, both
Wait, where's
sheets.
the debit?
Your debit, your credit. And I want a confirmed number. I want double confirmation on the numbers.
Chris, you got this. I don't have my calculator. Chris, you got this. You didn't have his iPad.
You're so
Your phone's got a calculator on it, merchant.
Never realized.
You just got one of those new phones. Your brother was complaining about it.
My brother was complaining about it?
Yeah.
He doesn't have one and you do?
Oh yeah, because he has to wait like another year until he get one.
Can't talk to his chicks till then.
Gonna have to call him up on the old handheld.
The home phone.
Home phone.
We don't have a home phone anymore. We got rid of it and got cell phones.
Yeah, just let him use yours. Your brother or girlfriend?
Not that I know
I think he does. I always see him walking home with a bunch of chicks.
of. Yeah, no. It runs in the family.
Well, you're just giving them a ride home, so you're not walking with them.
Oh jeez, yeah. Why is that?
You're adding up all of them.
Can't wait to see Taylor just hold that championship.
That's a big number.
Teo? Is he senior?
Mm-hmm.
How come we never heard of him before this year?
You gonna take Ray Lewis's spot?
It's a pretty big spot.
Not just the physical part of it.
What did you get? Did you get this?
Doesn't he have like really good leadership? Ray Lewis?
Yeah.
Oh, you got what I got?
Remember, you gotta do both pages.
Okay.
Lucky lady.
Did you forget to add in the
You mean
utilities and the
ladies?
federal income tax expense
No.
on the bottom?
This man.
How you doing, ladies?
What's up, bro?
Grown-ups. How you doing, ladies?
What's he say next? Where you from?
How you doing, ladies?
Is he the one that talks funny?
Yeah.
You talk funny?
The girls afterwards, like, I think everything's on steroids but his vocal.
Did you ever watch that show with those guys that get on Craigslist and like trade up, and then
Oh, Lord.
what's it called? Barter Kings. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the same thing. His voice is all. He's got Tourette's, so like all of a sudden he just starts, and he gets higher pitch and higher pitch.
Look up YouTube videos of people with Tourette's. It's so funny.
That's me.
Wasn't there
Is it the one where he's
wasn't there
yelling at his mom in the picture?
Didn't we have one in middle school? Wasn't there one that had it? Someone had it really bad. Do you remember that?
Here?
Somebody yeah, remember in the like 8th grade or so, it was like someone younger that had it?
What'd you get for the credit side? 1,109,585.86.
That's what we got.
You got .86 as well?
Yep.
Okay, it's .86. It's gotta be. I'm hoping. Well,
I better check the answer book just to make sure. Why? Maybe for a little bit of it. I know that you.
But you just play more.
Why this?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's 86.
Here.
I wish we could go to Columbus to get the cookies. They do have cookies.
All right, you gotta squeeze it down. 1,109,585. 86. 1,109. Sorry. 585. 86.
Not enough boxes for a mill.
Yeah, right. Small.
Yeah. And the other one's the same exact number.
Yep.
Why do we have to pull them both out?
Because I want to make sure that we have multiple people having the exact same number.
Do we have a meet at Dickerson again this year?
Maybe. It depends on. They might move the conference indoor, so I don't know. Okay, so it says from a physical count. Do you guys have anybody have a job in which they have to do inventory? Fairway, you gotta do inventory?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, what this is telling us, a physical count, you're doing inventory, and you have determined that the balance of supplies office should be 657.15, supplies store 633.11, and prepaid insurance 800. Okay. This gets a little bit confusing, so I'm going to just try and simplify this for you. What you do is it's telling you that the end balance of supplies office has to be 657.15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my balance sheet column because that's where that's going to end up. Supplies office, I'm going to write that in there. 657.15. And that's the number the book is giving you. So now, my balance right now is 54.85.25. I know that it needs to end up at 657.15. So how do I get a debit balance of this to end up being a debit balance of this? You credit it the difference. So, yep. So 54.85.25 minus 657.15. What do you get? I get 48.28.10. Okay, so that's going to be my first adjustment. Now remember, before we only had an A and a B. You need to make sure you write these a little smaller because we're going to have a lot of them. This adjustment is under the adjustments column as a credit. A 48.28.10. So I am crediting supplies office. That means I need to debit something. Look at the bottom of the page. What do I need to debit? Supplies expense office. So adjustment column debit. A is 48.28.10.
This is A as well.
Yep. You have two A's, two B's, two C's.
Two D's.
I think we all go all the way to J. Okay. We go to J. Adjustments. All right, next one. Do it the exact same way. Supplies store, 633.11. So I know supplies store is going to end up being 633.11. So I'm just going to put it in over here. My previous balance is 45.78.36. So I'm going to have to subtract.
How do you figure out the 633 left?
It's telling you in the book.
You just subtracting from that.
So I get 39, 45, 25, right? It's B, 39,
Oh, that's actually good.
45, 25.
Chris, we need this.
So that means I'm going to go back here on the bottom and I have to debit something. It's going to be supplies expense store. 39, 45, 25. And then the last one is prepaid insurance.
It's,
Prepaid insurance tells us we have 800, so I'm going to put that over in the balance sheet. I previously had 62. I now have 800, so that's a difference of 5,400. So that's going to be credited 5,400. I'm crediting prepaid insurance. I'm going to debit what? No.
For insurance.
Insurance expense. So that is adjustment C. 5,400. You know, 14.3 is basically the same thing. Okay, 14.3,
on we go.
on we go. Absolutely.
It's all yellow this way.
There's really not much.
On your own and
This is going to take long, I promise. This won't take long. Okay, 14.3 basically is the exact same thing. It's just we've done adjustments in supplies and prepaid insurance previously, and now we're going to new adjustments. But this particular one is the exact same thing you do. So 14.3 says from a physical count of merchandise inventory. Now the only difference is merchandise inventory can go up and merchandise inventory can go down. So it tells us physical count of merchandise inventory. The December 31st balance is determined to be $234,904.20. So merchandise inventory, I know in the balance sheet it's going to be 234, 904, 20. So the previous balance is 248, 752, 25. So from the previous to what it is now, is it going up or down? Down. So you're going to have to subtract. In merchandise inventory, it's quite possible that it could go up, and if it has to go up, you would debit it. That's the only difference. So you take 248, 752.25 minus 234, 904.20. And you get 13,000, and this is D, 13,848.05. And then on the bottom, merchandise inventory is paired with income summary. And there's no real way to remember it other than you just remember it. So income summary is going to be D. It's going to be debited 13,848.05. See, that's all 14.3 was. There's nothing to it.
That's all 14-3?
That's all 14-3.
Sweet.
You wanna go 14-4, Merchant?
No.
It's enough for one day? Okay.
Get some new shoes.
Some slippers are Gregor? Slippers for Christmas.
Kind of rough.
No. It was slippers. Hickory Mountain.